Swansea.com stadium filling up nicely. There's just a few final rays of sunshine in the eyes of the supporters opposite us in the east stand as the sun sets behind the west stand that we're sat in. Big travelling contingent of Coventry fans. Well over 2,000 have made the trip down to South Wales to cheer on their heroes who had such a terrific season, only suffered back-to-back defeats once this season, Chris Iwelumo. That was in January against Norwich and QPR, so they want to avoid that. But I mentioned the home form under Vitor Matos. 8 wins, 2 draws, no defeats since what's he done?
No, I think it's been impressive, hasn't it? I think the fans play a massive part, and this is going to be an interesting one because I think Swansea like to go out and get hold of the ball and control the game. And I think Coventry have that in them, that they can say, OK, we'll sit back, we'll allow you to have it, because we know that when we get it down, we can be quite effective, we can be quite direct from back to front with quality, with the pace that they've got on the side and the ammunition they've got in those attacking areas. Or Coventry could just say, we want the ball. But this Swansea side have that, you know, they can tackle, they've got that energy, but they're very, very good technically on an eye. And I think that's something Vitor Matos has come in. He said, you know what, this is the way that I want to play. We can mix it up and match it, but especially here at home, let's give the fans something to shout about. Let's control the game, let's dictate the tempo, give them something to shout about, and then the players, you've got to feed off that, and that's exactly what they've done.
Teams on their way out now, led out by the referee Stephen Martin, who joined us in the press room earlier for a cup of tea. He was quite relaxed with his assistants. Alongside him, Alex James, Jacob Graham and Matt Norton, the 4th official. And I don't think, wherever and however you're listening to Talksport 2 this tea time, I don't think you'll need me to tell you when Matt Grimes is in possession for Coventry City. 333 appearances as a Swan, joined Coventry City just over a year ago, and I did the reverse fixture on Boxing Day, and I seem to hear some boos from the travelling Swansea fans in the South Stand. It's really odd, because Joel Latibeaudiere, who's also a former Swansea player, probably won't be noticed at all as much, but Matt Grimes may be at the eye of the storm tonight.
Yeah, which it surprises me, you know, because he was a fantastic servant. He was Mr. Swansea. You know, the way that Swansea played, he was a big part of that. You know, he was at the centre of that, and of course, you know, that's a fan's God-given right, isn't it, to give that ex-player a little bit of stick. Trust me, you know, I had 18 clubs, I got my stick, but that's part and parcel of it. It just gives you that little bit more impetus to go and say, you know what, I'll get one over on you. So, but he can affect this game. What I will say about Matt Grimes, though, I think Onyeka coming in, it's taking a little bit of the shine away from Matt Grimes. He's not really getting on the ball as much, because Onyeka can do that exact same thing. So that balance, I think they're still finding its way, albeit there's a relationship there.
And as if to wind the locals up, as soon as I said that, Matt Grimes broke away after all the handshakes were done, ran straight to the Coventry fans and applauded them. And over in the northeast corner, the Swansea fans were not happy at all that they were not being acknowledged by their former. So he certainly cannot win tonight in the moral sense, but Coventry could certainly win in the actual sense. The 4 changes they've made, quite interesting. You'd probably argue a preferred centre-half pairing, Thomas and Latibeaudiere for Frank Lampard, rather than Wolfenden and Kitching, who played against Southampton. And then he's gone with Thomas Asante and Sims, leaving Eccles and Wright on the bench. Wright's had a bit of a struggle just lately.
Yeah, well, when you've got the likes of Thomas Asante and Sims, it doesn't weaken the side for me. You know, if anything, you look at Ellis Sims, he will win a majority, if not all, of his aerial duels today. So it's just having that play around them. Does that mean they're going to sit and play a little bit more direct? Because they can play that. And saying that, Ellis Sims can run the channels very, very well as well. So I think when you've got the quality and depth that Frank Lampard has, I think you have to use like this, especially when players aren't quite firing. Get them out of the team, get someone else that's knocking on that manager's door every time he's not selected.
They've got to watch out for the top scorer in the Championship, Jan Vipotnik, up top for Swansea, and he will make life difficult for Latibeaudiere and Thomas. You've got the creativity of Ronald on the right hand side. Love watching him play, and it goes back to what Vitor Matos has done with this team to make them as effective as they have been at home. But Swansea start the day Well, they're now 11 points behind Southampton in that final playoff spot, which sounds like a lot, but of course they win here. They get the gap back to 8 points with 7 games to go. We're about to get underway. Coventry in their dark blue strip, and the boos immediately for Matt Grimes just as he takes kickoff. And Carl Rushworth smacks the ball downfield. So, as we sit in the west stand here at the Swansea.com Stadium, Coventry are attacking the south stand to our right in their change strip of the dark blue with little sky blue flecks around the shoulders. Swansea, as you would expect at home, in all white, attacking the north stand to our left where the Coventry travelling fans are. And Ronaldo's in behind immediately from a long ball downfield, but Rushworth comes out to the edge of his area and clears. And then it's tidied up by Onyeka, and already the game's been played at a pretty furious pace, 0-0.
Well, it's outstanding. You look at that, Vigouroux plays the short one. Straight away, you've got 6-7 Coventry players going with a high press, and it's just having that understanding. Burgess or Galbraith it was, played that ball in behind. Ronaldo's always going to ask the question in behind. So that defensive unit of Coventry, they really have to make sure that they step up. It's either got to be one, Onyeka has to kind of sit and protect, or Matt Grimes has to sit and protect if the other 5-6 are going to go and press with a little bit of urgency there as well. So it just shows you this Vitor Matos, he knows exactly how to deal with it. He's I tell you.
Rushworth almost turned into trouble at the edge of his own area. Did a Cruyff turn to get away from Guidel, but would also nearly ran straight into Jan Vipotnik. But Coventry, well, they still haven't got the ball clear of their own 18-yard line. Now Rushworth passes out with his left foot to find Van Eyck on this near side, the Coventry right. Sakamoto, who's got a good understanding with Van Eyck down that right-hand side, 0-0.
He's outstanding. Sakamoto, I think what he brings, he is Mr. Consistent. Delivers performances, and then brings goals as well. That urgency.
Swansea win the ball back as Coventry tried to raid down the left-hand side. It's with Jay Fulton, one of the 3 players brought in by Vitor Matos today. Nearly 2 minutes gone on Talksport 2 in our third game of the day. 0-0 here. It was 1-1 at lunchtime between Ipswich and Millwall, and then Wrexham came from behind to get a big win at Sheffield United to keep their playoff hopes very much active. And here at the Swansea.com Stadium, it's about whether Coventry can extend their lead, and they've just conceded a free kick just inside Swansea's half of the field. 2 minutes gone, 0-0.
Yeah, strong challenge here, Jade Silva. Really staying close to Ronaldo as well, but just watch Ethan Galbraith as well.
Vidal is brought down, free kick to Coventry. But you're saying about Galbraith, he's playing at right back today. We've seen him in midfield for Swansea a lot.
Yeah, but even though he plays right back in, he will drop into that little space beside Jay Fulton as well.
Like Jacques Cancel in the Manchester City role.
But this is something Vitor Matos is worked at. He's a good footballer, and when they start to get a foothold in the game, they have a lot of it, he will start to float, and he has that freedom to drift in centrally.
Free kick's going to be taken by Josh Tymon, Swansea left back. Midway point of the Coventry half, just to the left of centre, attacking the end to our left, the north stand where all the Coventry fans are. Coventry keeping their defensive line at the 18-yard line. It's swept in by Ji Sung Yom, headed half clear by the Coventry defence. Fulton heads it back across the face of goal. It wouldn't quite drop for Vipotnik. It was actually Cameron Burgess' flick header that took it away from Swansea's top scorer, 0-0.
Yeah, I've got to say it was an excellent ball in, and Onyeka had to make that defensive header there because he got in behind there. If he doesn't make that contact, there's going to be an opportunity at goal.
Throw in for Milan Van Eyck. It's the Coventry fans making all the noise away to our left-hand side with the beating drums in that north stand end. And the attempt made there by Brandon Thomas Asante to get away down the right, but they calm things down. Swansea get the ball back to Lawrence Vigouroux. Swansea started really well against Wrexham just over a week ago at the racecourse, but somehow ended up on the end of a 2-0 defeat.
No, I watched the game. I thought they used the ball. They've seen a lot of it as well. Big chances. You've got to take chances, haven't you, when they present themselves.
Ball's back with the 2 centre-halves. It's with Ben Cabango and now Cameron Burgess. Back to Lawrence Vigouroux. He'll give it back to Cabango, who looks up. Thomas Asante closes down the space, so he just fires it down the right-hand side. Ronaldo brings it down on his chest, keeps it away from De Silva. Fulton then plays a lovely ball as Galbraith gets into the area, right-hand side, forces the Coventry player to concede the corner, does he? It's been given as a goal kick.
It's a corner kick all day long, and it's a fantastic little ball as well. Mason Clark, you know what I mean? It's fantastic. Sees the danger, Galbraith has done the overlap, he's coming inside. I think possibly maybe a little bit more on the pass. I thought it was an excellent pass. The accuracy of it, just a little bit more, a little bit more pace on the ball.
0-0 on Talksport 2. 5 minutes gone in South Wales. Coventry with a chance to extend their lead at the top of the table. When they beat Swansea on Boxing Day by a goal to nil, they went 8 points clear at that point. They can do the double over Swansea today for the first time since just after the Second World War. It was the 1946-47 season, also at this level of football, when that was last achieved by the Sky Blues. Ball's back with Cameron Burgess at the back for Swansea. Vigouroux gives it straight to Ben Kibanga, who looks up, and there's a run being made down the right-hand side but not used. It was a lovely run from Gonzalo Franco, but in the end Swansea with a throw in their right-back position. 0-0.
Yeah, it's impressive the way that as soon as anyone, if it's Burgess, if it's Cabango, you're looking at Vidal, Vipotnik, if they're coming to feet to show Gonzalo Franco knew to running behind Ronaldo's coming to the ball, that's where the space is. So they've got an option to go to feet if it's not marshalled properly, or can they go in behind with a little bit of quality to try and stretch the pitch. Using the ball well, Swansea.
They have possession with Vidal, who knocks it back for Burgess, gets up towards the halfway line. Short pass out to this near touchline, and Ji Sung-yong leaves Sakamoto on the deck and drives infield, the Korean, up to the edge of the area. So Vipotnik tries to collect it with his back to goal, but he was intercepted by Lati Bojer. But the ball's only half clear, and Galbraith can retrieve it for Swansea and guide it back into his own half. 0-0.
This is where Coventry have to do better. Pick up second balls, if they're not having a lot of it when they do win it.
Ronaldo, right-hand side, tries to cut inside De Silva, but Jay De Silva did well to get it half clear. Fulton heads it forward, flicked on by Franco at the edge of the area, but it won't find Vipotnik. But Coventry are being asked some questions of here in these early stages, and it's picked up again by Ethan Galbraith. Lovely chip ball. Well, I thought it was a lovely chip ball looking for Ji Sung-yong down this left-hand side, but it was under-hit in the end, and Van Eyck could get it clear. But only as far as halfway, and again, the second ball just isn't sticking with Coventry City in these early stages. 7 gone, 0-0 on Talksport 2.
No, well, Swansea want it more at the minute. They're picking up the second ball, but they're being aggressive. They're playing progressive football, passing it forward. Look at the energy and the movement at the minute. You look at this Coventry side, they've got their 2 blocks with Ellis Sims and Thomas Asante right beside them just now, trying to go and press. But at the minute, Swansea are finding an outlet.
And they're looking again for Ji Sung-yong down this left-hand side, and he will protect the ball away from Sakamoto to earn Swansea a throw. Taken quickly by Ji Sung-yong, and Widell just tucks the ball in field to Jay Fulton. Timon, early cross into the area. Vipotnik had an open goal to aim at, but the offside flag went up against him anyway. But Rushworth had stayed to the left of his goal, anticipating the cross. Hadn't anticipated the run across from Vipotnik, but the flag spared Rushworth's blushes. 0-0.
Yeah, he was in no man's land there, but that's the relationship with your wide men, your fullbacks. With Josh Timon, I know him very, very well. That ball's going to come in early, in behind the last defender and goalkeeper. If Vipotnik's just got to time his run better, he's going to get an opportunity there.
Lovely ball across from Sakamoto, looking for Mason Clark. Headed away by Swansea, comes back to Grimes. There's the booze to find Mason Clark, left-hand side, up against Galbraith to the left-hand corner of the area. Ronaldo trying to help out too, but lovely back heel to get Jay De Silva into the game for Coventry. Whips the cross in, headed out by Burgess strongly, straight to Ronaldo, who is then fouled by Matt Grimes. Free kick. Oh no foul. Well, what's going on there, Chris Willimer? That looked for all the world to be a foul.
It is a foul, but because he threw himself, and it's like it was like, you remember Platoon back in the day when
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, but he's looking for it. He's looking for it there right in front of the referee. It is a foul. It's an easy one to give, but when you throw yourself at it like that, you're not going to get anything.
Chris Willimer's right. Just look at the cover of the DVD of Platoon, and you know exactly what he means. Ball's gone behind for a corner kick, the first corner kick of the game to Coventry City, and Matt Grimes is casually strolling across to the southwest corner to collect it. Boo's not quite as vociferous as I might have ordinarily expected, and he's got this first corner of the game, a left-footed in-swinger from him. Not many players at the near post in either dark blue or white, plenty at the far. Maybe that's where Grimes is aiming. Indeed he is. Vigouroux goes up and gets a touch on it, and it goes behind for a successive corner to Coventry on the other side of the field, 0-0.
Yeah, excellent from Lawrence Vigouroux there as well. He had to get the contact. I think it's an excellent ball. He doesn't get the contact. Yeah, there's a few. Bobby Thomas as well, rising, reading the flight of the ball very, very well there. It's good hand by the keeper.
So Sakamoto goes across to take the next corner. A few more players at the near post, including Mason Clark, who's come short, but it's rolled back by Sakamoto to Jay Da Silva in midfield. Oh. Now across from Mason Clark, which is skied and drifts out to this near side of the field and goes out for a throw. And Mason Clark wisely blames a bit of flotsam on the pitch that affected the quality of the cross. 0-0.
It was worked very, very well. So Sakamoto on the corner kick. Mason Clark goes from the near post, short, passes it to Jay Da Silva. He sets for Mason Clark to actually arc his run and just whip it in, but the ball in was a shocking ball, and that's a real opportunity to put it right on the money, especially when you've got like Bobby Thomas, Ellis Sims in there.
But Milan van Ewijk can put a long throw on a sixpence for somebody who hurls it into the near post. As soon as I say that, it's a dreadful throw. Goes straight out of play on the full for a Swansea City goal kick. 0-0 here. So today Middlesbrough, Ipswich and Millwall all drop points in their respective quest for automatic promotion. Borough could only draw 0-0 at Blackburn at lunchtime. Whilst here on Talksport 2 we brought you the 1-1 draw between Ipswich and Millwall. Elsewhere, 13 unbeaten for Southampton as they beat Norwich to hold on to 6th place, and QPR beat Portsmouth by 6-1. Portsmouth hovering just above the bottom 3, and they're out of the bottom 3 only because Leicester could only take a point at Watford. Now Melker Vidal onside for Swansea, into the area left hand side, lays it off for the shot from Gonzalo Franco that clips the top of the crossbar, and I think the flag had gone up for offside anyway. Free kick's been given Coventry's way. Josh Timon it was, forgive me, that had the final shot. 0-0.
Yeah, fantastic quality as well. You know, you got in behind there, just driving, excellent little cut back as well. Timon, who'd released the ball, got himself just towards the edge of the box, just inside the box on the angle, and he's whipped it with the left foot. I've got to say, Rushworth was beaten there, came off the bar, excellent attempt.
You're listening to EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app. See, I'm too used to saying delivery now. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m, 18 plus, fees apply to delivery orders, subject to availability, price may vary. Over on Talksport right now, it's the game day phone-in with Jamie O'Hara and Rory Jennings about to get underway. They'll keep you updated, as I will in actual fact, with events between Everton and Chelsea at Hill Dickinson. And then we've got Leeds against Brentford live on Talksport at 8 o'clock tonight for our Premier League evening exclusive kickoff. And then tomorrow, oh, what a day. What a day. The Carling Cup final. At the centrepiece of it all, Manchester City against Arsenal. But before that, live on Talksport at midday, high noon, Newcastle against Sunderland in the Tyne-Wear derby. And we'll also keep you updated with that crucial game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Spurs against Nottingham Forest. Free kick been awarded to Coventry City for a foul by Gonzalo Franco, who looks imploringly at the referee and gets nothing.
Yeah, I've got to say, I think the way that Gonzalo Franco, Galbraith, Mason Clark, all just competing for it. You know, it cannot be questioned. Both teams are right up for it. Oh,
given away at the edge of the area. Here's Melker Vidal inside the D, trying to make room for a shot, being crowded out, turns, gets the shot away. It's blocked by the chest of Bobby Thomas, and Coventry smuggle the ball clear out to Mason Clark on the far side of the field, who gets pushed over by Galbraith needlessly, and that's an easy free kick for the assistant to help the referee in giving 0-0.
Yeah, silly one for Galbraith to give away, but Rushworth, not his usual self. Few little balls, taking too many touches, poor pass there. Gonzalo Franco gets it. It's a strong challenge, but I've got to say, Stephen Martin, the referee, allows play on. As soon as Melker Vidal gets the ball, I think as soon as he takes that first touch, I think he's got to ask the question, albeit maybe through the legs of the oncoming defender. As soon as he takes the next touch, I think the opportunity's gone then. I think the players have got back in. The only way that he can do is trying to come back and manipulate the ball to get another angle there. You know, as soon as you get that angle, get past the first defender, really pull the trigger.
That's the former Scotland defender.
I'll take it.
You can defend the corners, couldn't you? Chris Iwelumo alongside me, Ian Data here at Swansea.com Stadium, where we played 14 and a half minutes on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. And exclusive commentaries have been our preserve all day. Way down the left-hand side comes Ephraim Mason-Clark for Coventry. Skips away from Galbraith, swings across him, Sims unmarked, good save, Vigouroux down to his right in front of goal. Ellis Sims got his contact on the ball. Was it a good enough contact? It was a good save from Vigouroux, stays 0-0.
Poor decision. He's got to go with the head. Go with the head, it's the perfect height. I don't know why he waits for the ball. Go meet the ball.
Oh, and Vidal tried to slip the ball out wide to the right, and Ronald, Jay Da Silva did enough. The ball from Vidal, in truth, wasn't quite fast enough, but a throw has been given to Swansea City on the right hand side.
Well, like you say, there's opportunities at both ends, great quality, some fantastic balls coming in from wide areas as well. I'm looking at Ellis Sims here. He's hit the target, but there's nothing that's troubled Vigouroux, and he's on the 6-yard line when he makes contact there. He's got to go with the head there, Ian.
That interception that Swansea made at the edge of the Coventry box, it's indicative of what they've been doing in the Championship all season.
Yeah.
Only Oxford have got more interceptions per match than Swansea City do, and the third most accurate passes in the division as well, behind Middlesbrough and Southampton. Swansea, and Vitor Matos has a lot to do with that since coming in November.
No, 100%. You know, I think there's a certain way to press, but you can't go in 1 and 2s as well. That defensive unit has a responsibility to step up, to make it easier for players to close those distances as well. But they're very, very, very well drilled.
So 0-0 on Talksport 2. Josh Chimans hit the top of the crossbar for Swansea, and Ellis Sims has had a gilt-edged chance just now that he spurned. Here's Ephraim Mason-Clark down the Coventry left, level the 18-yard line, rolls it back down the touchline to Jay Da Silva. Now goes back infield to Grimes, puts a left-footed ball in, great pace on it, and it's headed behind by Burgess. Good header as well, defensively speaking. Ellis Sims was lurking right behind him. Coventry corner, 0-0.
See, I think that's another opportunity for Ellis Sims to go and put it on Burgess there. Grimes has put in a fantastic ball, one that's got to go and be attacked, but he's waiting for it.
You're talking about lean into him.
Go meet the ball. Go and meet the ball. If you hit the ball and the player at the same time, but you get that all the paces on the cross. So all you have to do is get the accuracy on the header and make sure you hit the target. And Vigouroux's got problems there.
Grimes spots the corner down away to our right hand side in the southwest corner. So it'll be a left-footed in-swinger from the former Swansea City man. Back on his old stomping ground. Deep to the far post it goes. It's flicked away. And out of play for another corner on the other side. This time it wasn't the goalkeeper that got the touch. I think it was Cameron Burgess, 0-0.
Yeah, I think he has got a little touch again. One that he had to go and make as well. Some excellent quality coming in from Matt Grimes. I'm surprised he's going to take this one as well. From that side, you want to put it right on top of Vigouroux. Look where all the bodies are.
It's going to be an out swinger from Matt Grimes. 333 appearances in a Swansea shirt before moving to Coventry January of last year.
Jay Da Silva.
Yeah, Jay Da Silva unmarked at the edge of the box. Onyeka's lurking on the 18-yard line as well. In it comes from Grimes, drilled to the far post, headed out by Cabango, flicked further clear by Ji-Sung Yom. But Onyeka driving down the right-hand side. Lovely ball in from Onyeka, and it's headed behind by Burgess again. That was a wicked ball in from Frank Onyeka, but well defended and headed behind for another corner by Burgess, 0-0.
Yeah, great quality from Onyeka as well. Not only just picking up the second ball, anticipating, being in the right space, but understanding when Om's coming at him as well to take that big touch without even looking to put it right on the money as well. I just can't believe it. Burgess has been outstanding defensively. On an attacking point of view, someone's got to be there. Someone's got to get across the face of the defender and make sure they get that first contact. 2-3 yards from goal if they do.
Fifth corner of the game for Coventry, 0-0 on Talksport 2. It's Grimes again into the near post this time. Burgess, the ball attracted to his head like a magnet at the moment. He's headed it clear once more for the hosts. Ball bounces in the middle of the Swansea half of the field. Sims takes the touch at the edge of the area. Burgess there again to block. And Sims got the shot away. And it drifts out to the left-hand side where Mason-Clark keeps it in play, finds Sakamoto. Cross into the box, half fully clear by Fulton. Good spell this for Coventry City. Can they make it count? The game's been stopped, but the ball's burst. There's a rarity.
Well, he's bust the ball.
Yeah.
I tell you what, again, defensively, Matt Grimes in that little space, probably centrally as well, but 22, 23 yards from goal to find Ellis Sims. It's a great first touch. It's a great, I think he takes it with the outside of his right boot as well. I think he's going to release Mason Clark, but he doesn't. He just goes with power with the left foot, and Burgess has to get the block in because it is going goalwards.
Ball's back with Jada Silva for Coventry. 0-0 here on Talksport 2. If you're just tuning in, Saturday tea time, our third championship commentary of the day. As Ellis Sims gamely gives chase down the right-hand side of the box, but Burgess, who's had an excellent game so far at the match for Swansea, collects the ball, turns, doesn't just let it roll out for a goal kick. He turns his man and fires it downfield, so it ends up with a Coventry throw bang on halfway.
Did you see Frank Lampard's touch there as well?
Oh, yeah.
I tell
not
you what,
bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. But like you say, he's been outstanding. Burgess defensively, Coventry in control of the game at the minute. So you look at the way that Swansea are structured without the ball. You know, this is where they have to be a little bit better in that transition, get those short passes in and get more of a foothold in the game again, like that.
Yeah, little touch from Yom to find Widell, but he's lost out, and Thomas Asante scurrying through midfield. Good run from Brandon Thomas Asante. Oh, heavy touch. That allowed Cabango to drive it away, and the ricochet helps out Swansea. And Gonzalo Franco just turns away from Mason Clark and lays it back to Ethan Galbraith. And Galbraith was probably player of the match in the reverse fixture on Boxing Day. He was playing in midfield that day for Swansea, and I thought he was outstanding. I mean, of course, he's learnt his trade at the Manchester United Academy before making his real emergence as a Leyton Orient player. That's what got him his move to Swansea, and he was brilliant that day.
I think he's got it all. You know, he covers the distance technically. He's outstanding. But then you look at he loves a little challenge as well. He's got that side to his game as well. So I think at the minute he's getting asked questions offensively, so he's staying in that right back position. But once Swansea are on top, you'll see him having that freedom. I think Vitor Matos is asking that of him.
Long ball down the Swansea right. Ronald Gamely giving chase, but does he get there? Not quite. It's gone behind for a goal kick. So at the bottom of the championship, the bottom three as things stand at the moment, it's still at the bottom Sheffield Wednesday, who are long since relegated. Oxford and Leicester both on 39 points with 39 games played. Portsmouth have played a game less and they're on 40. West Brom have got a big win at Bristol City today, have moved on to 43, and Blackburn have got that precious point at home to Middlesbrough, also on 43, and then there's a bit of a gap to Charlton on 48. Balash Tot made a load of brilliant saves for Blackburn today to deny Middlesbrough a goal. There's some great goalkeepers in the Championship at the moment. Peretz at Southampton's been making some stunning saves. There was one he made at Watford, at your old club, Chris, in the week that was just the highest quality save.
It's so important. I think even you look at in the Premier League, how important goalkeepers, the points that they pick you up throughout a campaign. The Championship is very much the same, isn't it?
And I mentioned that because of Carl Rushworth, who has said for the first time he's not sure where his future lies. Now, he's on loan at Coventry from Brighton. Would Brighton want him back to challenge Verbruggen as the number one keeper, or is he better served staying at Coventry if they get promoted?
And it's a no-brainer, and I think Coventry have got to break the bank, make sure they make him one of the players, because he's been absolutely outstanding. Some of the saves he's made throughout this campaign has been ridiculous. Well,
he's got a free kick to worry about here. It's quite deep on the right-hand side for Swansea. 23 minutes gone. Midway point of the first half, then 0-0 on Talksport 2 between Swansea City and the leaders, Coventry City. Ji-Sung Yong to take it. It's only 3 or 4 yards in from the far touch line. And he clips it now into the edge of the area. Widell couldn't get a flick on. It was away from Van Avermaet, and then a Swansea player goes down hurt. Free kick's been awarded, and it will be a free kick to Swansea to the right of centre, 30 yards from goal. I think it was Franco that went down, and he stayed down. Lots of players surrounding him as he was clattered into by Brandon Thomas Asante. No yellow card for the Coventry number 23, but it is a free kick here, Chris Owellamo, for Swansea City at 0-0.
Tell you what, he's lucky boy as well, Brandon Thomas Asante. He's led with the forearm and went through the back of the head of Gonzalo Franco as well. So he's went to motion to go and head the ball, but he's led with the arm there. It's a bad challenge, that is.
But no caution.
Nope.
For Brandon Thomas Asante. Now, Franco's back on his feet, and I would have wondered whether he might be one of the favourites to take this free kick. But Ethan Galbraith appears to be directing operations as the ball is spotted down for Swansea. 25 yards from goal to the right of centre.
Well, I know Tymon's definitely got this in the bank as well, hasn't he?
Yeah. And Ji Sung-yong is standing around the ball too. Burgess just having a word with Galbraith and Timon as well. And now the Aussie centre-half walks away and joins his teammates in the penalty box. Rushworth just checking where his posts are, checking that his wall's in the right position. There's a 5-man Coventry wall protecting just inside the 18-yard line. Important moment in the game, this free kick for Swansea. Who's going to strike it? Timon, Galbraith, or even Ji Sung-yong? Well, Galbraith appears to be moving away. I think he's lost the battle of wills with Timon. Although Ji Sung-yong is still there, it does favour the left-footed strike, in fairness to the former Stoke City man Josh Timon. Although Ji Sung-yong's still lurking, either of them could hit it. Rushworth waits on his goal line. It is Ji Sung-yong, hits the wall, goes over the bar. Swansea have a corner away to our left at 0-0.
Yeah, it's interesting the way that Carl Rushworth sets up his wall, because I agree, I think it is for the left, but it just leaves that one open when you've got Sakamoto and Vanivic as the two on the outside of the wall, so I don't mind them coming and trying to bend in it into that corner, and it needed the contact.
You mean the two smaller players? Short corner, and it's whipped back in, deep to the far post, too deep. It's gone out of play on the full before Burgess tries to head it back across goal for Swansea. Coventry have a goal kick. Elsewhere in the EFL today, Lincoln, 22 games without defeat, Chris. 7 points clear at the top, winning against Lee Clark's Rotherham today. Brilliant performance from Michael Scubala's men. Yeah, it's been remarkable, and I think it's adaptability as well. People talk about the brand of football, winning games, isn't it? Is that not the best football? And sort of with that, Cardiff dropped 2 points just down the M4 from here, 0-0 against Blackpool at lunchtime. Here comes Swansea with Franco, right-hand side of the area, tries to drill it across the face of goal, and it was comfortably cleared away by Latibeaudiere for a throw. So just look at the look that Vipotnik's given him as well, because Vipotnik made the move. He's got to just find him with pace, and he's just going to get the contact on goal. He's tried to play it in between the last defender. He's got to find his man there, and I don't mind the little stare down as well afterwards, because that's a real big opportunity. Great little ball in behind, fantastic run from Franco as well, but he's got to find Vipotnik. Swansea City 0, Coventry City 0 on Talksport 2. 26 minutes played in South Wales. Galbraith drifts infield, being chased all the way by Mason Clark, plays a square ball to Burgess. He knocks it back into square to the Swansea captain, Ben Cabango, and then Galbraith takes it off the toes of Cabango. Finds Cameron Burgess once again, who has long since got his kit dirty. I think he had it dirty about 30 seconds in, Cameron Burgess, and throwing his head and feet at everything so far that's come into the Swansea City penalty area. Jay Fulton, another great servant of Swansea City, approaching 300 appearances since he came down from Falkirk about 12 years ago, and he gets a start today in midfield. Ball's rolled back to Vigouroux, the keeper, drifts the ball out left, but it sails over the head of Ji Sung-yong and goes out of play in between the two managers at the edge of their technical areas. Lampard wasn't interested in killing the ball stone dead that time, as he did the previous time. Here's Van Eyck trying to send the ball down the right hand side for Sakamoto. Free kick, just had a little nibble at Timon, so Swansea get a free kick in their own half of the field. Yeah, it's been better from Swansea now. They're getting these short passes in, not allowing Coventry to force them back, and I think they've been a little bit more positive in saying that. Cabango very nearly gave it away to Mason Clark, but he was bailed out by a ricochet that landed fortuitously for Gonzalo Franco. Vigouroux, the keeper, all in yellow today for Swansea. Lovely ball out to Ronald on the right hand side via Galbraith, and Galbraith's ball in field to Ronald. Well, it was decent, but swallowed up by the Coventry midfield. Yeah, but Vigouroux's distribution is outstanding. He's definitely got that, and Om should have done better with the one earlier as well. Galbraith running back towards his own dead ball line under pressure from Thomas Asante. Hooks it clear well for Swansea. Franco can't win the header, bounces away from him and Grimes to another former Swan, Joel Latibeaudiere. He played a good spell here 95 appearances for Swansea. Ball's on halfway with Matt Grimes, 0-0, approaching the half-hour mark. Little run from Mason Clark, and he was caught there by Galbraith, who's going to get a yellow card for that challenge. You heard Chris Uwelemo's response to that challenge coming in from the Swansea right back, and he is indeed cautioned.
So that changes his game now, and it's so disappointing because we were already kind of giving his plaudits as well, and deservedly so, but there's no reason for him to make this challenge. He's going away, he's running back into his own half, just a little bit shy of the halfway line as well. Why go to ground there? You've done your job, you've forced him away. You know, I understand you want to kind of it's a bad challenge as well. Even that, he's come up high and caught him on the inside of his, just under his knee. But Thomas Asante is he's struggling a little bit after that challenge, just moving awkwardly. Meanwhile, Coventry have possession on this near side of the field, the right, with Tatsuhiro Sakamoto, lays it back to Bobby Thomas. Now Onyeka picks it up from Thomas and plays the square ball to his left for Grimes. Out to the left-hand side for Jada Silva. That's a good ball in field for Thomas Asante. Up to the edge of the area, feeds it into Mason Clark, trying to turn, goes down to the pressure for Cabango. Penalty kick. Cabango took away the legs of Ephraim Mason Clark down the left-hand side of the box, and there wasn't much hesitation from Stephen Martin to award the penalty, and Coventry have the chance to take the lead on the half hour, 0-0. Yeah, it's lazy defending. Cabango, he knows the player. Mason Clark, he's taken him, he can't do nothing. It's great, a little bit of trickery. He's not going anywhere, Mason Clark, but he's just manipulated the ball, he's moved it away, and it's that lazy foot from Cabango that just sweeps Mason Clark. It's a penalty kick. I've got to say the referee's positioning was excellent, but it's knowing your players. Everyone watches the Championship, especially when you're up against these players, knowing their qualities. He's got great control. He can manipulate the ball. He did it. You can't just put in the lazy challenge there.
Brandon Thomas Asante has 11 goals this season for Coventry. He got his first since November against Preston North End a little earlier this month, and he is just about to spot the ball down for this penalty kick away to our right. Hands on hips, standing right next to the ball. He will shortly pace back before taking on Lawrence Vigouroux from 12 yards. Referee checking that everybody's outside the 18-yard box. So Thomas Asante, right-footed, right through Vigouroux and in the back of the net. And Coventry are in front, and Coventry are heading for a 9-point gap to second spot. Brandon Thomas Asante makes it a round dozen for the season. The penalty went under Vigouroux and in. And after half an hour, the leaders lead. It's Swansea 0, Coventry 1.
Well, he's went power, hasn't he? I'm looking at the goalkeeper. We've got a monitor right in front of us, so we'll get another look at that, but I think you're spot on. I think Vigouroux has to save that. He's went the right way, he's dived, and it's basically right next to him. He's got a hand to it. He's tried to sweep the hand. I think you've got to go there with the full arm and hand and forearm. He's tried to sweep the ball. There's too much power on it there. I think the keeper's got to do better, but like you say, he's went power. Thomas Asante, 1-0.
And so Swansea's brilliant home record under Vitor Matos is now under threat, and he's not happy with the award of the penalty, although look, a pretty open and shut case from the replays that we saw, but he's shaking his head ruefully down beneath us. How does Swansea respond? Well, Ronald puts a ball into the box and Van Eyck just chests it away from Ji Sung Yom, and then Van Eyck does really well to prevent the throw-in and hook the ball downfield. And then Fulton goes down in a heap under a pressure from Onyeka. So 33 minutes gone on your home of the EFL, Talksport 2, and the side at the very top of the EFL lead here in South Wales. But here comes Ji Sung Yong down the left-hand side for Swansea. Can he keep it in play? Down by the corner flag, he can. Faced up by Van Eyck. Jockeying for position, whips in a right-footed cross, free header, wide from Gonzalo Franco. Free header at the far post, but Franco couldn't keep it down. Almost jumped too early, and it went wide of Rashworth's right-hand post for a goal kick to Coventry, 0-1.
Yeah, well, it's a great reaction, isn't it, to go on a goal down. This is exactly what you want. I've got to say, Jason as well, fantastic ball in. Gonzalo Franco found himself between, it would have been Latibodiere and Jay De Silva. He's got himself up. All the paces on the cross. I've got to say, Rushworth is towards the near post as well, hit the target, and it's a goal. He's just obviously just wide of the target. Has to do better there as well, but he was hanging there for a while. He was on his way down when he made contact with the ball.
He's only scored once in this calendar year, Gonzalo Franco. I saw him score a beauty here against Manchester City in the League Cup earlier in the season. But that header drifted wide of the post. And here come Coventry with Sakamoto trying to release there from Mason Clark. Little back heel brings Thomas Asante into the game. Left hand side of the area, pulls it to the far post, and Vigouroux has to tip it away from right under his own crossbar.
It was fantastic play. Mason Clark, little back heel into Thomas Asante, who I thought just opened the goal up to take the shot, but he's just dinked it to the back post to Ellis Sims. And I've got to say, Vigouroux again, great feet work and good two hands on it as well to parry it away. Fantastic goalkeeping, but excellent build-up play from Coventry there.
You're listening to EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m, 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders subject to availability. Price may vary. With 10 minutes to half time, again, it's the Coventry fans away to our left in the North Stand making all the racket because they lead. The penalty scored just after the half-hour mark from Brandon Thomas Asante after Mason Clark was brought down by Cabango. Here is Cabango looking to release Ronald down the right-hand side. The flag goes up as the ball bounces in front of him. The assistant just waited until it looked like Ronald was going to try and race clear. So free kick awarded to Coventry City. Some brighter signs for Swansea. Adam Eder is back on the bench today, having spent a long time out with a serious hamstring injury. He cost Swansea a lot of dough. 6 million quid is their biggest EFL transfer fee paid, but he's back on the bench today. I wonder how tempted Vitor Matos would be to draft him in at some point this evening if things stay as they are.
Yeah, I think he's definitely got a part to play. I think Vitor Matos will be happy with what he's seen, albeit it's an individual error that's given away the penalty. I don't think he can have any qualms about the penalty. I don't think there was any debate either from Cabango after he made the challenge. They've reacted well, but they have to take these opportunities. They've got themselves into some fantastic positions in the 18-yard box, but not pulled the trigger or not executed the right pass to capitalise that moment.
They're lacking in goals just lately, Swansea. Just 5 goals in their last 5 games. Coventry have got double that tally in the same period of time. As Rushworth, the Coventry keeper, fires the ball downfield looking for Sims. It's well dealt with at the back by Cabango. Nice cushion header down for Fulton. And now Burgess. Oh, he gives it away to Thomas Asante. And now Coventry can break. Midway point of the half. It's slipped through to Ellis Sims. Can he keep it in play at the dead ball line? He does indeed. Rolls it back to Onyeka. He knows that Ji-sung Yom's at his back, so he works it out to the right wing. And Sakamoto, 2 Swansea players for company, tries to go between the two of them. And it's won back by a combination of Timon and Ji-sung Yom. And then the Korean up against the Japanese Sakamoto. And he gets it half clear. Onyeka fires the ball into the box. Sims tries to shoot on the turn. Blocked, and then Grimes! Oh, the law of the X strikes at the Swansea.com stadium. Matt Grimes doesn't celebrate, but boy oh boy do the travelling support celebrate. Away to our left as Grimes cracks in a shot in off the post from 25 yards out, and Coventry double their lead 7 minutes from half time. Big moment in the Championship title race. It's Swansea 0, Coventry 2, and it's Matt Grimes against his old employers.
That's the one, isn't it? What a wonderful goal. The technique, the power, the accuracy. And I've got to say, Vigouroux sees it late, comes through bodies as well, in off the post and in. But I've got to say, watch this touch from Ellis Sims. Great ball in from Onyeka. Touch to get the shot. I think it's Burgess again that gets the block, but he can't do nothing about that. Vigouroux as well. It's struck. It's one of those, it's daisy killer as well, isn't it? Got a bit of power, pace, and then, like you say, it goes through a few legs. I think Brandon Thomas Asante actually jumps the ball in an onside position, which again makes it even difficult. But in off the inside of the post and in, hard one for Vigouroux to stop there.
Well, he held his hands up almost apologetically. Didn't want to celebrate, but The celebrations away to our left-hand side are well underway.
That's a bit of class, isn't it?
Yeah.
Being here, his servant, even though he gets a few little boos, which is understandable. You know what I mean? He can celebrate it all he wants, but hands up.
Oh, here's Waddell inside the area for Swansea. Trying to get one back. Hits the post with a right-footed shot. And Onyeka makes a mess of the clearance, but he's bailed out by Bobby Thomas. Oh, Melker Waddell so close to getting Swansea back in the game. Just a minute and a half after they'd gone 2-0 down. But his shot hit the base of the post with Rushworth beaten.
I think he's got to do better. I know it's come off the inside the post, but he's trying to be too accurate. He's got to just make sure. Yeah, to be fair, in fairness, I'll eat my words, because Bobby Thomas has came and he's got in, so he's basically trying to bend it round Bobby Thomas as well. So I understand why he's had to go wide. He's just probably a little bit further away from goal. That probably just comes round a little bit more and goes into that bottom right hand corner. So fair play to him. He's unlucky there.
Yeah, hasn't scored yet, Melker Waddell, for his new club, having joined initially from AAB and then being loaned back to that club in 2025. So this is his first full season with Swansea. Looks a handful, but he just couldn't wrap his foot around that right-footed shot enough from the left-hand side of the box to get the whip to get it inside that far post. 2-0 to Coventry City on Talksport 2 as Bobby Thomas fires the ball forward pretty aimlessly, and it bounces through to Vigouroux. And here's Galbraith, who, as we mentioned, is on a yellow card, and his combative nature at fullback is going to be tested from this point on, particularly when you've got players like Thomas Asante and Mason Clark, all the pace they've got on that side of the field for the Championship leaders. Lovely touch from Mason Clark to find Grimes on the halfway line. Just clipped by Ronald. Free kick to Coventry that Grimes wants to take quickly, and does. De Silva lets it run for Mason Clark, who comes in field. Good strength from him. Onyeka on loan from Brentford. Tucks it out to Jay De Silva, left-hand side, level with the 18-yard line. Ronald comes to close down the space. Oh, lovely touch from Onyeka. Just dinks it away from Gonzalo Franco. Onyeka goes for goal, and it's deflected behind Cabango for another Coventry City corner. They are rampant, and they want a third before half-time.
Yeah, it's excellent from Onyeka as well. Just the first touch just takes them away from Gonzalo Franco as well, and then a little bit of trickery just to open up the goal. I think he takes too long to get the shot away, and he allows Cabango to get that block. I've got to say, I think it's Waddell as well that comes across, but fantastic quality from Onyeka to get himself in that position.
So the corner kick on the far side, southeast corner. Sakamoto and Grimes are there. It's played short by Sakamoto for Grimes. Whips it in. Ellis Sims tries to go for a header. Cabango gets enough to get it half clear, but Onyeka picks it up right-hand side of the box, puts the ball back into the area. And Van Evert tried to turn it goalwards. It breaks for Ellis Sims down by the dead ball line. Protects it well. Onyeka again in the right wing position. Puts the cross back into the box. And then Sakamoto tucks it away for 3. It's all going so well for Coventry City. Frank Lampard punches the air with delight, because the game has effectively been won before the half-time whistle has even sounded at the Swansea.com stadium. They didn't give up as the ball was bouncing around the area. Onyeka's ball from the right, deep to the far post. Nobody picked up Sakamoto, and he swept it home on the half volley. It is Swansea 0, Coventry City 3.
Well, it's fantastic from Sakamoto as well, just anticipating where's the ball going to go, coming onto it and just hitting the target. It's one of them, it takes a little bit of deflection, he doesn't care, but fantastic work from Ellis Sims and Onyeka as well. Good quality coming in, but defensively switched off. How can 3 Coventry players be alive to a ball 6 yards from the Swansea goal? Defensively, they have to be switched on and go and take responsibility there. Great quality in from Onyeka, and like you say, they don't win the first contact, but it's that second phase that it's one of them. It's a nasty deflection, but defensively you've got to try and get some contact on it. Sakamoto, fantastic quality on the soft. Is it Galbraith as well?
Yeah, came off Galbraith on its way through, but that's Sakamoto's goal. That's 3 goals in 4 games for the Japanese midfielder. And Ellis Sims is now striding forward. Coventry are looking for a 4th here. Sims goes for goal. This time it's saved low down to his left by Vigouroux. Just over a minute to the break on Talksport 2. And Coventry City really have gone through the gears. No, they lead 3-0.
Yeah, like you say, they've got that quality. And you look at the chances, look at the opportunities that Swansea have. There's some great quality coming in, some excellent runs in behind. It's just that final pass, that final little bit of quality just let them down. You have to be clinical. In a game like this where it is very, very open, it's end-to-end, opportunities at both ends, but then the quality, how clinical have Coventry been? That little bit of magic, anticipating it, but make sure you're hitting the target with quality. The Matt Grimes goal, outstanding. Sakamoto alive to the second phase, making sure he hits the target. You can't take anything away of Mason Clark getting into those little areas and just inviting the challenge, but it's individual errors, taking responsibility, stopping the cross. How many times has Onyeka been free to put quality into the box? At
least twice in that move alone. Well, Ji Sung-yong can't keep the ball in play as Galbraith tried to feed it down the left-hand side for Swansea, who were a bit shocked here by what's been going on. It was 0-0 right up to the half hour, but 3 goals in the space of 12 minutes in this first half have completely turned this game in the Championship leaders' favour. And only 1 minute of added time, which we're into now on Talksport 2 before we hit the break. Don't forget, Leeds against Brentford live on Talksport at 8 o'clock this evening. That's our evening exclusive from the Premier League. And we've got some Premiership Rugby Union for you tomorrow afternoon from 2:45. Leicester Tigers against Bristol Bears from Welford Road. Here at the Swansea.com Stadium. Swansea in possession. Back for Cameron Burgess. And Cabango, whose challenge on Mason Clark led to the penalty that started this goal spree for the Sky Blues. Burgess, good ball down the left-hand side for Josh Tyman. Keeps it away from Sakamoto. Could have continued his run down the left, but elected to stay put.
Yeah, you're spot on. It's a great ball to Tyman there. I think he's got to take his touch across the face of Sakamoto there.
Well, there's the half-time whistle here at the Swansea.com Stadium, and rapturous applause from the Coventry supporters. 2,000 plus have made the trip down to South Wales, and they have been richly rewarded by a 15-minute spell in which Coventry have raced into a 3-0 lead and are potentially opening up a 9-point gap on Middlesbrough at the top of the table. Goalless until around the half hour when Ben Cabango fouled Ephron Mason-Clark inside the area. Penalty given straight away by our referee, and the penalty was dispatched by Thomas Asante for his second goal of 2026. And then Matt Grimes struck against his old club not long after. The ball dropped for him outside the area, and a left-footed half volley in off the inside of the post with Vigouroux comfortably beaten. That was 2-0, and it was soon 3 when Coventry didn't give up on a bouncing ball around the penalty area. Finally, Onyeka sent in across from the right. Sakamoto swept it home via a deflection. I wouldn't say it's been one-way traffic, Chris Iwelumo, but Coventry have got that cutting edge when it matters most.
No, I think you're spot on. I think it's Frank Lampard will be absolutely delighted. I think defensively they've been asked a few questions, probably been found out a little bit there as well. But with the ball in the attacking third, they cannot be questioned. No one scored more goals than this team. So creative, so clinical when it matters as well. What a big game this is, and they would have taken a little bit of confidence from the results today as well. That gives them that extra little bit. But it's an easy team talk to have. Let's go out and win the second half again. But Vito Matos is saying the same. The first goal in the second half is so important. Go out and win the second half and see where you are come the end of it. If they can get an early goal, possibly a second, it's game on. Put the pressure on this Coventry side, force the issue, because like you say, it has been a very, very open game. It's not a 3-0 game, is it, Ian? So no. Vito Matos he's got to kind of manage that group of players. The leaders in the group have to kind of pick themselves up. They have to go again. Individual errors. Don't stop the crosses. Defensively, Cabango has to be better with Mason Clark. It's a lazy defensive challenge. And who's alive to the second phase when it comes in from Onyeka? Who's on Sakamoto? How's he alive to it? No one's defensively there to stop that shot or get the block in.
It's been really impressive from Coventry coming forward. They really have looked menacing with that front partnership of Mason Clark, Thomas Asante, Sakamoto, who you mentioned in commentary, how impressed you are with his offensive and defensive work. But Cameron Burgess was having a terrific half hour at the back for Swansea, wasn't he?
Yeah, but why is he having a terrific? Because crosses are coming in, he's having to defend for his life, some fantastic defensive headers, intervenes, little blocks, but he's getting asked a lot of questions, too many. So straight away, why are they getting that into those positions, time and space? So straight away, if you are a Timon and you understand Timon's been brought in because he can get forward, you know, and Timon have to do more to stop that cross from coming in from that right hand side for sure.
Chris, thank you for the time being. Chris Awilamo alongside me tonight here on Talksport 2. It is half time at the Swansea.com stadium, where Coventry lead by 3-0 and are set to open up an even bigger gap at the top of the Championship. It'll be 9 points to Middlesbrough and 11 points to Ipswich and Millwall if things stay as they are. Speaking of clubs like Middlesbrough, Ipswich and Millwall, in a few short moments' time here on Talksport 2, we'll recap everything that's happened today in the EFL and get the reaction of some of the managers involved. You're listening to Talksport 2, Swansea 0, Coventry 3.
Nonsense sports coverage.
Oh, he's going all the way! This is Talksport 2.
EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. The Big Arch is here to stay at McDonald's with its very own delicious sauce. Available from 11 a.m, subject to availability. Price and participation may vary.
It's the last chance to get yourself a ticket for tonight's Lotto draw.
It could be you.
Lotto from the National Lottery. Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
My beans have been to Mexico. They once went to Peru. My beans, they flew to Portugal, then went to Tuvalu. My beans were with me in Italy, then came with me to Greece. I slurped their sauce on Spanish shores. I nibbled them in Nice. My Heinz beans have seen the world. They've travelled far and wide, because they are, as we all know, too good to leave behind.
Okay, let me stop you there, sir. You still have to check them into the hold.
Oh, all right then. Honestly. Beans means Heinz.
The same band, the same chorus, different headphones. Discover hi-fi sound for yourself with the Samsung Galaxy Buds 4 Pro and get £50 off with code 50buds4pro at currys.co.uk when you recycle any old tech by the 28th of April. Your sound, your way. 18 plus, £50 off Samsung Galaxy Buds 4 Pro when you recycle any electrical item working or not working into a Currys store.
People are tuning into radio more than ever. Advertise here and get your message heard by up to 6.5 million switched on listeners every week. Email radio@news.co.uk.
With a Travis Perkins trade account, you open the door to big trade deals every single month. And we've gone big on landscaping. Right through March. Get a 600-litre bulk bag of Supergrow topsoil, exclusive to Travis Perkins, for only £67 per bag. Join the club and get this and other big landscaping trade deals this March with your trade account. Travis Perkins, doing what matters for the trade. All prices exclude VAT at 20%.
Hi, I'm Claire, and last year I did my first big hike for Cancer Research UK. It was amazing. The scenery was stunning, the volunteers cheered us through it, and the free hot meal at the end was really what I needed. I did the full marathon hike. There's also a half marathon and a 10k if you don't fancy the big one.
Join thousands of hikers like Claire and escape to nature as you help to fund life-saving research. Search Big Hike today for 30% off your entry. Together, we are beating cancer. T's and C's apply.
Young people today, can they really handle responsibility? Or are we just kidding ourselves?
Welcome to McDonald's. Some think young people can't manage. We disagree. That's why 1 in 3 McDonald's managers are under 25.
Hey, Kira. Hey, Belle. How are you? Right? Yeah, I'm good. It's busy out there, though.
Like Kira from South London. She's 23 and manages a team of 20.
Let's go.
Leadership, making it happen at McDonald's.
Talksport 2 is your dynamic destination for all the latest sporting action, featuring live commentary of all the biggest events, including football, PGA golf, horse racing, Premiership rugby, cricket, boxing, and all the big-hitting drama of the NFL. Touchdown! Plus, Talksport 2's official betting partner, William Hill, is always on hand with the insight and in-depth analysis you need. Talksport 2 with official betting partner, William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org. Hard-hitting football coverage.
He hits it first time, what a volley, what a goal!
Pushing the apex of live football.
And it's in!
EFL Live on Talksport 2.
into left wing position. Great ball in, and Welbeck is there to turn it home again.
Bristol City 0, West Brom 1, and the baggies are bouncing. Campbell is the man who's got it.
And Richard Coney's in on goal. He's just made it 6. Richard Coney, the striker, cartwheeling away to the home fans.
It is Kyle Joseph for Hull City. Hull City 3, Sheffield Wednesday 1, and all the Hull fans are making that sort of clawing move that they do because the Tigers are mauling Sheffield Wednesday so far.
Boré goes alone, right footed ball in and headed in, and it's brilliant from Sam Smith. Unmarked at the back post, and he knocks Wrexham in front.
Mihailovic, head of the air, Negley then crosses in, and it's scored by Coburn, who rushes straight to the Millwall fans. And right at the start of this second half, within 5 minutes, Millwall have struck back. It's Ipswich 1, Millwall 1.
Southampton 2, Oxford 0. We have just witnessed an unbelievable strike from Shea Charles.
And it is Jimenez who steps up to take the penalty in the 95th minute to seal the points for Fulham, and he dinks it over the top of the goalkeeper, and he drops to his knees, Raul Jimenez, as the ball nestles into the corner. 96th minute, it is Fulham 3, Burnley 1.
So Thomas Asante, right footed, right through Vigouroux and in the back of the net, and Coventry are in front. Lawton and Grimes, oh, the law of the X, strikes back into the box, and then Sakamoto chucks it away for 3. It's all going so well, and Coventry are heading for a 9-point gap. Yeah, you're listening to EFL Live here on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m. 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders. Subject to availability, price may vary. My name's Ian Danter. It's good to have your company. Chris Owolamo is he's alongside me. He's gone to get me a cup of tea. He's such a nice lad. He's risking his knee cartilage to go downstairs and get me a brew. How nice is that? So here at the Swansea.com Stadium, the half-time score is Swansea City 0, Coventry City 3. So as you heard there in that little bit of audio, Coventry are set to be 9 points clear of second place Middlesbrough if things stay as they are, and then 11 points clear of Ipswich and Millwall. So there's one automatic promotion slot remaining, it seems increasingly to be. The 3 front runners at Ipswich, Millwall and Middlesbrough all were in action earlier today and all failed to win. Ipswich Town held 1-1 by Millwall, live on Talksport 2 at lunchtime, and their manager Kieran McKenna spoke to Talksport's Mike Sewell at full time.
I don't know what taking notice of the table would look like. We have to win our games. It's not like Middlesbrough lose, then we're going to start playing for draws, or if they win, then we better win. We're just going to try and win the games. We got 8 games in 27 days or something like that, and we just got to go and try and win each of them. Maybe, of course, you get to the last couple of games and you've got a margin, and yeah, you might look at it, getting a good point sometimes, but I don't know, even we'll look at the table, of course we know where we are now. We know that I think it's probably in our hands, but other than that, we just got to try and win the game that's in front of us.
I'll leave it up to you, wherever you're listening to Talksport 2, to decide whether Kieran McKenna truly doesn't look at the table at any point. I'm not sure, but there we go. That's just my thoughts on this. What about his opposite number at Portman Road? Despite a run of 1 point from a possible 6 for Millwall, Alex Neil, the Lions manager, was full of praise for his players.
We need to do something. Certainly when they scored before half-time, I need to then, I've only got 2 options at that point. Do we really sort of go for it and sort of play right on top of them? And if you do that, there's always going to be 2 outcomes. There's going to be, we get the next goal and potentially go on and win it, and it's going to be really good, or it could get a little bit messy, and I think what we do need to pay reference to is the fact that these are the best team at home in the league, so it certainly wasn't going to be an easy game, but certainly for that second half performance, I was extremely proud of the players, how they attacked it, their aggression, the sort of desire to win, the lack of fear, if you like, in the second half in terms of who they're up against and where we are. And yeah, I thought we deserved a point, and we could have nicked it at the end. We had some good opportunities at the end.
So 1-1 it finished at Portman Road, live on Talksport 2 at lunchtime. Now let me see whether I can eat a Welsh cake in the entire time that it takes you to hear from Middlesbrough manager Kim Hellberg, because after the 0-0 draw that Middlesbrough, his team, got at Blackburn, he held a very terse and short radio news conference with our very own Chris Hull after the match. Take a listen to this.
I think we did a good performance, a lot of opportunities, top of position, worked hard. So of course disappointed with that, but we take the point and we move on.
Still, Kim, you're still in a fantastic position. Today you could have gone 4 points clear of the rest. Slight missed opportunity.
It doesn't work like that. You take 1 point away from home. Millwall lost last week against Blackburn, same team, home. So you have to take the points you get and work from it. And then of course we want to win every game. But today we didn't.
Actually, that's not that terse. I think it's quite pleasant there. Kim Hellberg speaking to Talksport's Chris Hull. But it is a disappointment for Middlesbrough. They had a good 70% of possession against Blackburn, but couldn't make it count. So as things stand in the Championship, Coventry moving on to 80 points. Middlesbrough 71 points. Ipswich and Millwall 69 points. Hull City, who got a win today, 66. Southampton, who are keeping and consolidating their place in the playoffs in 6th place, they're on 66. And then two clubs on 63, Wrexham just outside on 63 points, same as Southampton. And then Derby County, they beat Birmingham City at lunchtime, they're on 60 points. I'm guessing at this point there's a 4-point gap from Derby in 8th to Watford at 9th. They're the teams involved in the playoff shake-up. But who's going to finish second, Chris Iwelumo?
Yeah, Millwall for me. I'm telling you now, okay. Millwall for me.
Go on then.
I think they've went under the radar. To go where they went today, to go a goal down, you know, having less of the ball, and probably came away with all 3 points as well, you know, reacting, Coburn getting the goal. I think they've just got that little bit between their teeth as well, go and achieve something very, very special. Of course, you look at Ipswich, they've got that game in hand as well, but again, that at home as well, they've got to be taking points, they've got to be taking maximum points as well. It's like Middlesbrough, I've covered 3 of the last 4 games as well, and it's the exact same story. 77-80% possession, you know, creating lots of opportunities, but big chances going amiss, and that's where they've got to be better in front of goal. They've got to be taking those opportunities.
Everton lead Chelsea in the Premier League. Beto darkening Liam Rosenior's mood minute by minute. I would imagine it's been a dreadful 10 days for Chelsea on and off the field, and they trail at Hill Dickinson by 1-0. Don't forget, Leeds Brentford is live and exclusive on Talksport at 8 o'clock tonight. Teams are back out for the second half here, and Swansea have made a change at half time. Vitor Matos has taken off the South Korean Ji Sung-yong and brought on the vastly experienced Joel Ward, joined in January from Queen's Park Rangers after over 350 appearances for the Eagles in 13 years. And he's on for his 9th appearance in a Swansea shirt. And he's gone to full-back, which allows Ethan Galbraith to move into midfield, which has been his more natural position since becoming a Swansea player. So Coventry are kicking from right to left as we look in their change strip of the dark blue with sky blue flecks. And they're kicking towards the north stand to our left, are Coventry, so they're heading towards their own supporters. Swansea in all white heading for the south stand to our right in this second period. So it's Vigouroux in goal. It's now Ward, Cabango, Burgess and Timon, Franco, Fulton and Galbraith. And that means Vidal's gone further forward to join Ranald and Vipotnik. For Coventry, it's as you were at the get-go. Rushworth in goal, Van Eyck, Thomas, Latibogia and De Silva, Onyeka and Grimes, and then Sakamoto, Thomas Asante and Mason Clark behind Sims. And Jay De Silva has a throw for Coventry City, bang on the halfway line down beneath us as we sit right at the back of the west stand here at the Swansea.com stadium. Onyeka too strong, in with the challenge on Galbraith. What will Vitor Matos' half-time team talk have been all about, Chris Iwelumo, after those 3 goals conceded in 12-13 minutes?
Well, I think it's about making the right decision in that final third. You know, I think they've played well, they've had really good moments, excellent build-up play under a very, very good press from Coventry as well. They've got themselves into that the position that they want to be in, but they've got to take that opportunity. They have to score the next goal. They have to score the next goal.
Here's Thomas Asante ghosting into the area, drops at the edge of the box for Sims. Shot was blocked by Burgess, who looks like he's got a fresh shirt on because he got the one in the first half so dirty it wasn't really white anymore. It was more mud stained. Throw into Swansea in their right back position. 3-0 Coventry.
Before the game, we spoke about Matt Grimes and Onyeka, because they both play similar positions. Have you noticed how advanced Onyeka is? Matt Grimes has seen a lot of the ball in the right areas where he wants to get it because everything goes through him. Onyeka's picking up second balls, getting them into both channels as well, driving into the box. It's like look, even now the way he's positioned, he's always in front of Grimes. He's influenced the game, and I think that's probably down to the fact that it's Jay Fulton and Gonzalo that's sitting protecting. In fact, Galbraith's moved in now, hasn't he?
That's the thing. As soon as Joel Ward came on, Galbraith moved into that central midfield position. So clearly Matos felt that Galbraith would be of more use to him in this match situation in central midfield, giving Onyeka something more to think about because he's tracking Frank Onyeka pretty much everywhere he goes at the moment.
You're spot on. Look at that. It's because he has influenced the game for Coventry in many, many ways. Not only the deliveries coming into the box, but having that urgency and quality to drive past players, pull other players out of position. So Galbraith is probably just sitting saying, you know what, because technically it's about winning that duel, but then influence the game in a positive way.
3 minutes gone, second half. Swansea 0, Coventry City 3 on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Long throw going to be sent into the box by Milan Van Eyck. Gets up to the touchline, hurls it in from the right-hand side, flicked on by Latibogian, it lands on the roof of the net, but it's a goal kick given it didn't come off any Swansea player. It was the ex-Swansea player that got the touch in Latibogian, and so Vigouroux will have the goal kick. 3-0 down Swansea.
Well, it's always going to be a threat, isn't it? That long throw, so important for Swansea. That first contact has to be a Swansea contact. Good contact, clear the area. And I don't mind Swansea doing this. They've got to try and get more of a foothold in the game. So playing out from Vigouroux, he has that distribution that he can hit the full-backs. They've obviously going to a 3 now with those wing-backs as well. It's an outlet, but they have to be better in possession.
Giving it away. Ellis Sims running toward the edge of the area, tries to slide in Thomas Asante, but intercepted by Franco. And Swansea bring it clear with Jay Fulton straight onto the chest of Jay Da Silva with his attempted pass clear. Mason Clark moves into central midfield. Sakamoto flicks the ball away from Franco, but Ronald gets a touch, but Onyeka on the scene to tidy things up for Coventry City. The Coventry fans fell in love with Frank Onyeka almost immediately. They're already singing songs about him, so enamoured are they with him since coming on loan from Brentford.
He's got everything. You look at his presence on the ball technically. He can challenge, technically fantastic quality, but then it's distribution as well. He does it all. He can do it all.
That's Chris Iwelumo alongside me, Ian Tanter, here at the Swansea.com Stadium. Remember, live Premier League football tonight over on Talksport at 8 p.m. Mark Wilson and Dean Ashton will bring you commentary on Leeds against Brentford, with Leeds just looking to open up a bit more of a gap on the bottom three ahead of that massive game between Spurs and Nottingham Forest tomorrow afternoon. Keep you in touch with that on Game Day Live prior to the Carabao Cup final at 4:30 live on Talksport. Arsenal against Manchester City, and we've got the Tyne Weir derby at high noon on Talksport as well. Faye Carruthers, Joe Shannon, and we've got former Newcastle defender Steve Howie along with Mickey Gray to make sure we've got the perfect balance. I'm sure Mickey would have wanted to be there on his own, but no, we've got some black and white stripes to go with the red and white stripes in the commentary box. So that is tomorrow lunchtime. That'll be a great listen. With Sunderland winning the reverse fixture early in the season, and Newcastle a little battered and bruised, you might say, Chris, after that tonking they took against Barcelona in midweek. Boy, do they need a reaction.
Yeah, 100%. I think to be, 3-2 down at half-time and then the wheels to properly fall off as well. It was disappointing. I've got a few friends, big Newcastle fans as well, and yeah, they weren't. I'm
not sure whether Eddie Howe has followed Adrian Durham's advice and tendered his resignation to the Newcastle board. That was Adrian's suggestion. Did you not know? Okay.
Oh, I tell you.
That was Adrian's suggestion. He said you should, if you lose 7, you should do that as a matter of course. My producer has just alerted me. Talksport understands that Eddie Howe has not tendered his resignation. That's the least surprising headline of the evening. Nor necessarily is this scoreline. Swansea City 0, Coventry City 3. The leaders really hammering home their advantage at the top of the table. De Silva inside the Swansea half, tries to send it out to Thomas Asante. Good defending by Joel Ward, puts it out for a throw to Coventry midway point of the Swansea half.
Well, it's all Coventry at the minute, isn't it? You know, they're picking up second balls, and in that transition they're using the ball better. De Silva there, good control. Onyeka picking up those little second balls, but it's that urgency from Swansea when that ball goes forward. For me, it's what I tell my players is you'd rather go too big than too small. That ball has to go in behind. Where's those willing runners? Where's Ronaldo? Where's Gonzalo making that third man run? Vipotnik's trying to stretch the pitch, but he's trying to show to feet as well. So the likes of Vidal, Franco, you know, they have to be bombing forward.
Coventry are keeping their foot on the neck, as it were. Long throw to come in from Milan Van Eyck. This time from the near side to us, the Coventry left as they're attacking the north stand end. In it comes then from Van Eyck, but it goes onto the chest of Jan Vipotnik, who's had a quiet night, the top scorer in the Championship. Can't think of an effort he's had on goal in these opening 53 minutes of the match. Sakamoto, meantime, on the right hand side for Coventry, whips in a left footed centre, bounced awkwardly in the area, half volley clear for Swansea by Cabango, and then he's there again to volley clear as Onyeka trying to head it back into the Swansea City penalty area. Bit of head tennis on halfway. Ward nods it down on this right hand side, and then there's a foul on Ronaldo. It's caught by Jay De Silva. Free kick to Swansea City, and they need a goal quickly to keep this crowd on side, otherwise the locals might start to drift away when we get to about the 65-70 minute mark.
Yeah, well, they've not had any real foothold in the game. They've not been really threatening at all this second half. It's all been Coventry, it's all been in the Swansea half, and this is where I think they've just got to mix it up, you know, show that adaptability. Can they go a little bit longer in behind? Look how high that defensive unit is of Coventry. The spaces in behind, they've got 3 players actually in that defensive unit, Swansea. So a little bit of quality, play it over into the angles.
Hit downfield looking for Vipotnik, but intercepted comfortably by Latibogier. Thomas plays a short pass to the right for Van Eyck, immediately faced up by Vidal, but immediately rolls it down to Sakamoto. Onyeka. They all look so comfortable in possession of the football, Coventry's players. Rushworth keeps it away from 2 Swansea players inside his own box and finds Latibogier, scurries away, plays it out left for De Silva. De Silva, well, he bounced off Ronaldo as he tried to get past him. In fairness, Ronaldo's twice the size of Jay De Silva. That's like you against Lee Trundle, I reckon, in about 4 weeks' time in that charity boxing match. Maybe I'm being unkind to Lee Trundle there because he's cut these days. If you've not seen Lee Trundle lately, he's got the proper washboard stomach these days as Lee. But I think the tail of the tape sees Chris Owellamo well ahead on reach ahead of their charity boxing match. Vidal left hand side. You can watch that fight, incidentally, Friday the 17th of April. It's all for charity. Lee Trundle against Chris Owellamo for the heavyweight championship of the world, not really, on the Talksport Boxing YouTube channel.
It's going to be a good night.
Here's Latibogier finding Bobby Thomas. Out to the right hand side in Milan Van Eyck. It's a long ball downfield, but it's a bit aimless really this time from Van Eyck. Nowhere near Ellis Sims, who hadn't made the run down that right hand channel, so went straight through to Vigouroux.
But this is Coventry managing the game at the minute. Yeah, they can get those little passes. They don't really need to go and try and score that fourth goal. It's just about keeping possession, not letting Swansea get into any flow, any groove whatsoever. And this is where Swansea really need to kind of step up now. Now take that necessary risk to get back into the game. At the minute, it's a little bit too safe for me, a little bit laboured. You know, it's easy for Coventry just to sit in their blocks, shuffling across. That's the big ball. You know, they've got to be able to switch it round in these little intricate passes all the time. 56 minutes gone on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Swansea City 0, Coventry City 3, as it was at half time. It was 0-0 with half an hour gone, and then suddenly the Sky Blues went through the gears. Vipotnik's holding the back of his head. He's gone down off the ball. Referee quickly over and says, OK, he needs treatment. On come the physios.
Gives me a chance to remind you what's been going on today elsewhere in the EFL. Mentioned Lincoln and their extraordinary run of 22 matches without defeat, so they're top. Cardiff second. Bolton were beaten at Port Vale today. They stayed third, but the gap is even further between third and second, with the Trotters losing at Port Vale. Port Vale stay bottom, but they're trying to catch those teams above them up. Blackpool, they got a 0-0 at Cardiff, but they stay fourth bottom. Rotherham, who lost their first game to Lincoln under their new manager Lee Clark, and Northampton make up the rest of the bottom four. And in League Two, Bromley won again against Colchester to maintain a 5-point lead over MK. Well, they've extended the lead because MK Dons lost heavily at home to Barnet at lunchtime. Whilst third placed Cambridge edged out Salford to consolidate their advantage over Notts County, even though Notts County managed to beat Cheltenham by 5-2 at Meadow Lane. At the bottom four all lost, so it's still Barrow and Harrogate who are in the bottom two places in the EFL, and they're in danger of going down to the National League. Now Ellis Sims tries to get away down the right-hand side of the area. Vigouroux hurriedly clears, but Ronaldo's first on the scene. Vipotnik's back up on his feet, and he's going to be able to continue in a moment for Swansea. Ward passes the ball straight out of play, throw into Coventry. They lead 3-0 the Sky Blues.
Well, that's a great ball. I think it was Bobby Thomas just down the side for Ellis Sims as well. And I've got to say, it's Burgess again. He just went to ground, got that little final contact to just put the ball through to Vigouroux. But Ellis, that's something that he brings as well. He's a presence, he'll win his aerial duels, but when he gets going as well, I think he times his runs excellently well, the big man Ellis Sims.
So it's nodded down by Frank Onyeka as Coventry try and build again towards the Swansea penalty area. Poor header from Ronaldo. Here is Thomas Asante looking for Sims inside the area. He's got the better of Fulton, saved by the legs of the keeper, driven back in by Thomas Asante, and it's turned behind by Cabango for a corner kick to Coventry City. Swansea made an awful mess of what should have been a simple clearance, and Coventry very nearly got a fourth.
Well, they should have had the fourth as well. Excellent little bit of build-up play. Got in behind. Ellis Sims done everything right. Has to be a goal. Again, great save from Vigouroux, and then that little touch from Cabango was so important, because if he doesn't get that touch, Brandon Thomas Asante, I think he's wanting a penalty kick, but he reacts so quickly, and he gets good purchase on it as well from that sitting position. That little touch, I think Vigouroux's beaten there if it doesn't take a touch off Cabango.
Matt Grimes taking the corner for Coventry. On that far side, whips it in left-footed right to the crossbar. Thomas heads it up in the air and back across from whence it came, and it was nowhere near on target, and goes behind for a goal kick to Swansea City. Approaching the hour mark on Talksport 2, and the referee is blowing his whistle at Joel Latibeaudier. He wants a word with the former Swansea centre-half.
Well, I've got to say the referee, Stephen Martin, there, he reacted very quickly. He's in there with pace as well. So I don't know if there was a little bit of a coming together. Is it Gonzalo Franco and Latibeaudier?
Yeah, well, Latibeaudier just apologised to Franco for whatever went on inside the 18-yard box. Meanwhile, Josh Eccles is getting some final words of encouragement for Frank Lampard before he comes on for the Championship leaders. Ellis Sims, meantime, trying to outmuscle Cameron Burgess on halfway. Burgess gets it half clear. Franco can't win the second ball, but it will break for Ronaldo on halfway. Grimes gets goal side, so it's tucked back into the Swansea half, first for Ward and then for Cabango. And the Coventry fans away to our left are going through the full hymn book. It's them you can hear on Talksport 2 right now, firmly in control, and it's going to be a very happy drive back up to the Midlands for those 2,500 or so supporters.
Yeah, they've kept Swansea very quiet the second half. I'm just looking at Eccles. Is it Thomas Asante probably coming off, because he can play in any of those positions?
He played in the 10 against Southampton, and it is indeed Brandon Thomas Asante who makes way. So once again, Christian Wellamo masquerades as Nostradamus.
Yeah, but he does. I think he does it very well, because he has that understanding. He's very mobile. He can. Sometimes he's up as a two beside. He's done that as well. I just think he's got that intelligence to drop in when, like you say, Swansea throw everything at it. He can sit in beside her, Onyeka and Grimes, and make a kind of flat three in there as well.
He's one of the great stories of the Coventry City Academy. Approaching 200 appearances, Josh Eccles. He has scored this season 4 in all. The last was against QPR back in January. So he weighs in with a few. Thomas Asante getting the high five from the subs as he goes to sit back down. He got things going with that penalty just after the half-hour mark. And Coventry have scored 3 without reply. Ellis Sims giving chase down the centre of the field, forcing Cabango running back towards his own goal to thump it clear, and Frank Lampard loves that from his number 9.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about, forcing the issue. He has no right to win a throw in the final third, but he puts that pressure on and really forces the error there, so no wonder Frank Lampard will be absolutely delighted. 3-0 up, but they look like the team that's trying to kind of get back into the game here, because they have that urgency with and without the ball.
They do look like they want to score more.
Yeah,
there's no question about that. Don't forget, if you want to catch up with all the latest EFL news and react to the weekend's action, then EFL All Access will be back here on Talksport 2 Monday night from 6 p.m. with Hugh Woottencroft. All the talking points discussed on another pivotal weekend towards the end of the season in Championship, League 1 and League 2. Onyeka gives away a free kick, just chopping away at Josh Timon. So a free kick for Swansea City, just over the halfway line. Remember, Leeds Brentford to come later on Talksport in our 8 o'clock Premier League exclusive, and then you'll get Fight Club with Adam Cattrall and Gareth A. Davis, reflecting on lots of things, notably Tyson Fury's dad, John Fury. Him, the father and son, no longer on the same page, and John Fury no longer part of Tyson's close-knit team. All that and more discussed with Adam Cattrall and the team on Fight Club from 10 o'clock tonight. And then Shabana Hearn and Tony Cascarino back when you wake up tomorrow morning on TalkSport from 6 a.m. with Weekend Sports Breakfast, previewing all the day's big action, including our 2 live games tomorrow on TalkSport: Newcastle Sunderland at noon and the Carabao Cup final at Wembley from 4:30 between Arsenal and Manchester City. Ball's back with Carl Rushworth. Coventry just happily playing the ball back and forth in their own defensive third. Thomas now looks up and Grimes finds Mason Clark rather on the left-hand touchline, keeps it in play, wins a throw for Coventry. They are not settling at 3-0, and Vitor Matos looks like he's going to his bench again and wants 1 or 2 players to go and warm up.
No, he's spot on. He's trying to get them going. He's saying to the players he needs more, urgency there as well. He's telling them, how can he influence this game? Because at the minute they're second best all over the pitch. Coventry are comfortable. If they want this game to finish 3-0, it's going to finish 3-0, because I've not seen anything. I don't think Rushworth's had anything to do in the second half whatsoever.
He has not. That's very true. Just over 25 minutes to go on TalkSport 2. It's a triple change on the way for Swansea. Stamenic, Yalkuye and Cullen all set to be introduced from the bench, because let's not forget in all of this, Vitor Matos' unbeaten home record since late November, early December is about to go. 8 unbeaten here with 6 wins and 2 draws. But Coventry are about to smash that record in style unless there is an extraordinary comeback in these last 25 minutes. Sakamoto on the left-hand side for Coventry at the moment. Grimes drives it forward to Sims, who holds it up well, lays it off to Onyeka. Back to Sakamoto, left-hand corner of the area, chips the ball to the far post. Nobody's at the far post for Coventry. Ball drifts out to the left-hand side, and Vidal is caught by Van Eyck and wins Swansea a free kick in their left-back position. That will signal the triple change for the Swans. And so Yalkuye will be on, but Stamenic is the first number to come up, and he's coming on for Ethan Galbraith, who was booked in the first half, so I guess that makes sense, Chris Iwelumo, from a point of view of keeping 11 men on the pitch.
Yeah, 100%. As soon as he got that yellow card, it will really influence his game, the way that he wants to get about and put the challenges in as well.
Then you've got Jay Fulton coming on for Yalkuye to come on. Malik Yalkuye on loan from Brighton. And Gonzalo Franco also makes way for Liam Cullen. 2 goals in his last 5 appearances, Liam Cullen. So it's a vastly different midfield now for Swansea City, with Yalkuye, the diminutive number 8, and Stamenic, the much taller, statuesque number 6, in front of the back four. Driven downfield from Swansea's free kick. Yalkuye gets his first touch, nicks it just to the right for Joel Ward. Just spins away from the attempt of Eccles to win the ball back. And here's Marco Stamenic getting his first involvement. Cullen tries to play the ball down the left-hand side of the box for Widell, but it was intercepted by Van Eyvite. Van Eyvite, though, runs into traffic, manages to screw the ball clear somehow to Sakamoto, who's then cleaned out by Stamenic. That's his first involvement in the game, and there's a bit of afters between Eccles and Stamenic, and the referee Stephen Martin's gone across. Stamenic walks away, all blasé from the incident. Sakamoto is okay, I think. He's just on his knees and going to get up. But that was a pretty hefty challenge from the Swansea substitute, Chris Iwelumo.
Yeah, like you say, we'll see it on the monitor right in front of us, but it's a strong challenge. First challenge for me, the ball was there to be won. He's went and won the ball, but like you say, Sakamoto felt that, and it's a reaction of the players as well. It just shows you the togetherness. But that's what he brings, Stamenic. I think he's got that. Watch this, here it is on the monitoring. Strong challenge, I tell you.
Well, he got ball as well as man.
Yeah, he did.
And the referee's just had a little wag of the finger in Marco Stamenic's face as play gets back underway. Thankfully, Sakamoto none the worse for wear. There's a double change coming up for Coventry, incidentally. They're going to bring on Romain Esse and also Genoa Marcello, who's made a couple of substitute appearances before now after his recent move from FC Zurich. And Romain Esse, who's on loan from Crystal Palace, made his breakthrough at Millwall, but it's not quite happened for him yet at Crystal Palace. Maybe this loan will toughen him up still further in readiness for what might come next year at Selhurst Park.
No, exactly. I think you look at the substitution both managers have made, it doesn't really weaken the side, the quality and depth is definitely there, and that's where that's how you get that competitiveness as well, and that's how the levels, especially this Coventry side of met game after game.
Sakamoto finds Eccles midway point of the Swansea half. He gives it back to the Japanese, tucks it out to the left hand side. Wasn't the best ball for Mason Clark. The idea was right from Sakamoto, because Mason Clark was making a lovely run down the 18-yard line around the left hand side of the box, but just overcooked by Tatsuhiro Sakamoto. And that's Mason Clark's last involvement, chasing after that ball, because he's making way for Genoa Marcello. And the board is going to go up to indicate that the player coming off to allow Esse to come on. Come on, fourth official. Get your dialing finger right. Get the right number up there so we can see. Mason Clark is off and Marcello, he can't make the board work. I don't know who's coming off. I think it might be Sakamoto. He can't make the board work, the poor bloke. The fourth official down below us. So it's quite obvious that it's Sakamoto who's coming off, because he's just shaking hands with his manager to go back and sit down.
And this doesn't look like Coventry's letting up here either. I think they're going to go and try and force the issue. Can they go and get that fourth goal with the quality they've got?
Two players coming on, Chris Iwelumo. 20 minutes to go. They've got a point to prove to their manager, haven't they?
100%. And I think this is the proper business end, and this is a time where they can get a lot of minutes in the legs as well. Enjoy the football as well if they can get those 2-3 wins that they definitely need.
Eccles gets a good flick on over the halfway on. Eccles turns it left for Marcello. His first involvement. He's brought down by Yalkuye. Yalkuye saying the ball had gone, but the referee quick to exert his authority, and it'll be a free kick to Coventry City. 3-0 up here with 20 minutes to go on Talksport 2, just inside the Swansea half of the field on the left hand side.
What would you say, 88 points in Coventry need to get to for automatic?
That's pretty much par, isn't it?
Yeah.
Seems to be the way. Grimes is going to take this free kick, scored against his old club this afternoon, cracking in that left-footed volley from the edge of the area. In comes his free kick to the edge of the Swansea box, headed away. Yalkuye will try and bring it away for Swansea. Not much support with him, but he manages to nutmeg Onyeka, brings him down. That'll be a free kick to Swansea. And is that a yellow card for Frank Onyeka? Yes, it is.
Yeah, I think it's a bit harsh as well. He's not even to be fair, there's no debate there at all. He's taken that one. I think he's just in about it. Both players are at it. I'm having another little look at it as well. But it is, it's
stopping and getting away.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I guess so.
You're listening to EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m. 18 plus. Fees applied to delivery orders. Subject to availability. Price may vary. Ian Dancer and Chris Abellamo with you with 18 minutes to play at the Swansea.com Stadium. Coventry 3-0 up as they were at half time, and they've looked the team more likely to get the next goal in this game rather than Swansea, who Vitor Matos would have wanted a reaction from his players in the second half and hasn't really got one, Chris.
No, he hasn't, and that's the disappointing thing with the quality on show. They've probably been less of a threat than they were in the first half. It's been all Coventry. In fairness to Coventry, without the ball, they've still went and pressed high, tried to force the issue, and really have put Swansea under that pressure. But it's about going in behind, knowing when to play long, when to play short. They've definitely got the willing runners to try and stretch the pitch. But Carl Rushworth has had a very, very comfortable second half.
Still 1-0 to Everton in the tea time Premier League game at Hill Dickinson. Still Beto's first half goal, assisted by James Garner in the England squad, mega squad you might call it, that Thomas Tuchel announced yesterday. And many congratulations to James Garner, richly deserved for the efforts he's put in as Everton right back for quite a lot of the season. Now here's a ball down the left hand side for Markello, and he'll get there first for Coventry, into the box looking for Sims. Vital touch from Burgess, kept it away from Sims, and Vigouroux plucks the ball out of the air. He was caught by Sims late. What a ball in from Genoa Markello, and Burgess defended that so well on the half volley with Sims thundering in behind him. 3-0 Coventry.
Yeah, wonderful ball in behind Markello, winning runner as well, but he had that quality to put the cross in as well. Look at Ellis Sims, he's on the wrong side as well. Defensively got back and done his job there. Burgess again.
There's a defender gone down inside the area. That may well be Josh Timon, who needs a bit of treatment over on that left-hand side. Gives me a chance to reflect on some of the other big stories in the Championship today, with Coventry 3-0 up here and opening up a 9-point gap on second and an 11-point gap on third and fourth. Down at the bottom, Portsmouth lost 6-1, Chris, at Queen's Park Rangers, and it was only the fact that Leicester couldn't win at Watford that keeps Portsmouth out of the bottom three. I mean, I wouldn't want to pick. It's when you look at the bottom of the Championship and you assume, obviously we know that Sheffield Wednesday are gone, you're looking at two teams from 5 to go down: Blackburn, West Brom, Portsmouth, Leicester, Oxford. Oxford lost at Southampton today. Leicester drew 0-0 with Watford. Portsmouth hammered by QPR, as I mentioned. West Brom, the big movers today, got a big win at Euro Club Bristol City.
Yeah, it's like you say, it's squeaky bum time, isn't it? You have to really be up for the challenge. But I've watched Pompey, and I thought Pompey they had a little bit of form turn of the year, picked up some really good, got some really good results, and then just kind of fallen away. They just have to get back to winning ways, isn't it? It's a hard one. Confidence will definitely be knocked.
Yeah, they've done well at Portsmouth, but they still have a game in hand on those around them, which is against Ipswich Town, who need the points for very different reasons. Josh Timon is unable to continue, so his place is going to go to Chelsea loanee Isha Samuels-Smith, who's made just 3 starts in 7 appearances. Began his career in the Everton Academy, but part of Chelsea's youth setup now. Just 19 years of age, and he is a left back, so he's in the position he's most comfortable in. As Rushworth, slightly awkward clearance from the Coventry keeper, goes out of play for a throw-in to the Swans with 14 minutes of normal time to play on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL.
This is where Swansea just need to be a little bit more direct now. Try and play in the final third rather than passing back, recycling the ball. This is exactly what Coventry, they're so well drilled that without the ball, as soon as the ball goes back, that the midfield and defensive block just step up, and then that front three have the right to go and press the way that they want.
Bobby Thomas does run that back four very, very stringently indeed. Here is a ball fired forward by Cabango, but it goes under the foot of Zan Vipotnik, and here come Coventry City again. Attempt for Markello to make a run through, but it's broken for Frank Onyeka down the inside right channel, but Samuel Smith closes down the space, so it goes back to first Van Eyck and then back to the two centre-halves, Thomas and Latibeaudiere, inside their own half of the field. 13 minutes to go, and the Coventry fans to our left raise their voices once again.
This is what Coventry will do. They'll just keep the ball, go back to Rushworth, play out, really force issue. If Swansea aren't pressing together, then it's comfortable. Look at the way that they can play through the thirds at will.
Markello's in bags of space on this left-hand side. He's made 2 or 3 runs that have not been spotted. Now he receives it having checked back towards the halfway line. But he could give Joel Ward an awful lot to think about in these last 13 minutes of the game. Meanwhile, the ball's back with Bobby Thomas once again. Turns away from Cullen, gives the ball back to Carl Rushworth. On loan from Brighton. Brighton who beat Liverpool 2-1 in our Talksport exclusive game at lunchtime. Couple for Danny Welbeck, who's not in Thomas Tuchel's thoughts for the England squad. Away comes Melker Vidal for Swansea. Over the halfway line, cutting in from the left-hand side. Threads the ball through to Cullen. Inside the area, the shot is weak. Comfortably saved. Low down to his left by Carl Rushworth. But that is an effort on target in this second period for Swansea City. They trailed 3-0.
Yeah, much better. And it all came from Melker Vidal as well. He's just driving at the holding midfielders there, but then the run from Cullen was excellent. The weight of pass was excellent. Just Cullen couldn't get that power on the shot to trouble Rushworth. But this is where when we were speaking before the game, I think Swansea have to go man for man in the Coventry half. Force them to kick it, and then it's about trying to beat Ellis Sims in the aerial duels and picking up second balls, but they have to force the issue.
Essa down the right-hand side, gets into the area, onto his left foot and drives it over the bar. Didn't snatch it quite right. It just came off the outside of his left boot and went way high, wide, and not particularly handsome for a Swansea goal kick.
Yeah, but he does it well. I think he's so direct, isn't he, Essa, as well. He's driving into the 18-yard box. He doesn't really much backlift. He knows exactly where the goal is. The goal doesn't move. It's just about manipulating the ball and just trying to find that far corner, and he just didn't really have the accuracy to trouble Vigouroux in the Swansea goal.
Everton have a second at Hill Dickinson against Chelsea. Everton 2, Chelsea 0. Apparently it's an error from the Chelsea goalkeeper Robert Sanchez. We had those errors from Jorgensen against Paris Saint-Germain the other week. Now it's the other Chelsea keeper having moments to forget, and it's been a fortnight to forget for Liam Rosenior. On and off the field for Chelsea, it's all going horribly wrong. Birthday boy Jake Bidwell about to come on for Coventry City, so too Luke Wolfenden. 33 today, Jake Bidwell. Been a really good servant for Coventry since his move to the Midlands. Here's Yalkuye running into 3 Coventry shirts, still manages to spirit the ball out wide right for Ronald. 10 minutes to go, 3-0 Coventry. Swansea put the ball into the box, good cross from Ward, won't drop for Vidal. It was well defended by Van Eyck, and then Essa was fouled as he tried to bring the ball clear. Cullen is adamant that was not a foul on Romain Essa. Might have almost talked himself into a yellow card, but I think he's avoided it just, and it will be a double substitution for Coventry.
He's tripped up. There's no one touched him. I'm looking at it on the monitor. Onyeka's tripped up without anyone touching the ball, and you can see that from the 3 reactions that the referee Stephen Martin got there.
Bobby Thomas is coming off to be replaced by fellow centre-half Luke Wolfenden. And it's a straight swap at left back as well. So Jay Da Silva also going to make way to allow Jake Bidwell, who now has over 550 club appearances in his career, approaching 150 of those for Coventry. Rich applause from away to our left-hand side for the efforts of Messrs Thomas and Da Silva. And so Coventry, with this 3-0 advantage, protecting it well. They've really been under no threat in this second half of Swansea mounting a remarkable comeback. And now the ball is thumped downfield by Rushworth from that free kick. Grimes gets an inadvertent touch. Yalkuye inside his own half for Swansea, guards it back for Cabango. drives it right-footed up to halfway. Bidwell, his first involvement is to have a couple of battles ahead tennis with Ronald. Nodded down by Ward, but straight to Onyeka, trying to guide it out to the left-hand side for Markello. Can he keep it in play? Not quite for Coventry City. It'll be a throw into Swansea on this near side, the right. Well, the belief amongst the Coventry fans is, well, completely understandable. They're on the brink, Chris Iwelumo, of playing Premier League football for the first time in a generation at the CBS Arena. When it was called the Rico, they had Premier League football there. They've all the way down to League Two. Mark Robbins got them back. They won the Football League trophy. Promotion from League One to the Championship. Missed out in the playoff final a couple of years ago. What an incredible return to form this is for a club that had this nomadic existence no less than a decade ago, having to play home games at Northampton and Birmingham. And now they're 3-0 up, but they've got a bit of pressure to withstand here from Swansea. Vidal coming forward, gets into the area, but come to be repelled by Wolfenden. Lovely touch from Sims, brings Josh Eccles into the game. Coventry get the ball up to halfway, and now Markello trying to stretch his legs down the left-hand side, rides the challenge of Cabango, but they both get to their feet in just enough time, and Markello will roll all the way back into his own half for Latibeaudiere.
Yeah, he's got some pace, Markello, fantastic trickery as well, and just the right decision just to keep the ball
the
as
way
well.
He was running there as well, with his head back, bending his back, running. It was like watching Thelma from Scooby-Doo running away from a ghost.
But just look at Matt Grimes, just the intelligence. He just doesn't really have to move. He just stays still and finds that space.
Grimes there getting the better of Ronald on this near side. Ronald claims he was fouled. Turns and looks with a glare at the referee. Nothing doing from the official. And the ball's out on the Coventry right-hand side with Van Ewijk. 6 minutes of normal time to go on Talksport 2. Don't forget, Leeds against Brentford is exclusively live on Talksport at 8 p.m. So just over an hour's time they'll get underway at Elland Road. Leeds trying to open up a bit of a gap to those beneath them in the Premier League relegation fight. Casual from Joel Latibeaudiere just to guide the ball out to the right-hand side for Wolfenden. And they win a throw on that far right-hand side to Coventry City. Well, they're not even having to go through the gears here, are they, Coventry?
You're spot on. Second gear, so comfortable as well, and that's under a decent press as well. Latibeaudiere, finding Wolfenden into Matt Grimes. He's always an option as well. Onyeka's been, for me, he's been outstanding today. He's been everywhere, but now he has this understanding. He's more so sat beside Matt Grimes, saying, okay, we don't need to score again. Understanding the game, you're not scoring. It's just about keeping the ball, keeping it simple, making Swansea work for everything that they get, and that's where Swansea need to really, when they look at they get the debrief for this, how have they influenced this second half? I don't think they've taken enough risk whatsoever.
A reminder of Coventry's run-in. 6 wins from the last 8, including tonight, would guarantee promotion no matter what anybody else does. So they've won this game. Next up, they'll be at home to Midlands rivals Derby County, who have their own designs on 3 points to keep their playoff ambitions alive. After that, they're away at another top 6 club in Hull City or Coventry. Home to beleaguered Sheffield Wednesday. Then away at Blackburn. Home to Pompey, who might need the points desperately to stay in the division. Home to Wrexham. Coventry, second last game of the season. And away at Watford on the final day. So there are plenty of teams that Coventry are about to face in this run-in, Chris Iwelumo, who are not going to... Well, what am I saying? The integrity of the EFL has shown so many times down the years that clubs with nothing to play for can often bloody the nose of a team that needs the points desperately.
No, definitely. It is the Championship. Anyone can beat anyone on their day. If you're complacent, it's not just going to happen for you. You have to go out there and be competitive and fight for everything that you're going to get from the game.
86 gone, 3-0 Coventry. Ronald gets into the area, drives across in, it's headed back in front of goal. Brilliant save, Rushworth, to deny the header from Vidal. Clawed it away from the goal line. Comes out to Stamanic, drives it goalwards, hits the defender Latibeaudiere and drifts out to the left-hand side. That save from Rushworth was a bit reminiscent of David Seaman keeping out a Paul Pescasilido effort for Sheffield United in a FA Cup match. It's gone behind for a corner kick. Brilliant save, Carl Rushworth.
Yeah, excellent reaction save as well, because it was a great header from Vidal as well. But I've just got to say, I think when you look at it, reaction save from Rushworth there, gets good hand on it as well. But I just don't understand what Wolfwood is doing. He's ushered the ball out to play. He came off a Coventry defender.
Corner kick for Swansea, headed out the area by Wolfen and comes down to the edge of the area, and the shot on the turn goes well wide from Isha Samuel-Smith, the young substitute.
Yeah, he's just trying to bend that into the top corner there, but I think he's just got to go laces through a lot of bodies and try and trouble Carl Rushworth. I've got to say, it's a fantastic header back across from Vipotnik there, and then Vidal comes onto it. It's a great reaction save, only from about 1.5 meters out from Carl Rushworth.
Well, there is a lot of competition for the best goalkeeper in the Championship. I mentioned Peretz at Southampton. Michael Cooper was my pre-season favourite goalkeeper. He's probably not had the best campaign for Sheffield United, but Carl Rushworth, he's right up there. And actually, Lawrence Vigor at the other end for Swansea, he is the third best for saves per game in the Championship this season. And although he'll be disappointed with the penalty from Thomas Asante that went straight underneath him, I think you can definitely argue there's not much you could do about the second or third goals that were scored by Coventry tonight.
Yeah, spot on.
Cabango has, well, it's a yellow card for Stamenic, who, remember, cleaned out Sakamoto about 30 seconds after coming onto the field to play for Swansea. So he gets a booking, and we're edging towards the 90-minute mark. 90 seconds of normal time to play. Coventry fans, surprised they don't have any voices left by the end of this. They have been incessant with their songs since the get them. We're going to win the league is the chant, and it's hard to disagree with their assessment. 9 points clear they are going of Middlesbrough, and 11 points clear of Ipswich and Millwall. It would be the cock-up of all cock-ups not to secure the promotion, albeit the title, from here on in, Chris Iwelumo.
No, they've been ever so consistent, and like you say, having this following away as well, I think they've been absolutely outstanding at home. You know, it's like that place actually rocks. Remember when we've done a few games there, it's rocking with it.
You and I did a playoff semi-final against Middlesbrough
yeah.
that was 0-0, but it did feel like the ground was shaking. Yeah. You're quite right. And that's before the days when they've got the record number of season ticket holders that they've got now. Over 20,000 pay their money up front to support Coventry. Now, a chance for Swansea to get a consolation here. Vidal down the left-hand side of the area. Plays the ball across the face of goal. Vipotnik screws the ball wide on the half volley. Massive chance for Swansea's top scorer, the Championship top scorer. But he hit it awfully wide. Massive chance not taken. And Coventry preserve their clean sheet.
Well, it's an excellent break as well. You know, the ball across, I think it's a wonderful cross. Vipotnik's watching it, he's in the right place. The wrong thing for me, he opens up his foot and just tries to kind of put it. I think he's just got to try and just time it, take it laces, go with power, or you just got to make sure you hit the target there. He's just opened up, relaxes right leg a little bit, but he's got to hit the target. Fantastic position, excellent ball across from Vidal as well.
Rushworth, the goal kick for Coventry, had a loan spell at Swansea here, Carl Rushworth, some time ago from Brighton. And his goal kick is retrieved by Swansea, and they're trying to get Vidal away again down the far left-hand side of the field, but this time Van Eyck is goal side, and Rushworth drills it downfield up to Ellis Sims, who got the flick on to knock it into the Swansea half of the field, but it wouldn't break down that left-hand side for the substitute Marcello. We are top of the league is the latest hymn being sung from the Coventry fans away to our left. Remember, they've not played Premier League football since the 2000-2001 season. Coventry City. Almost feel like Mickey Quinn was still playing for him when that was happening. It's probably not that long after he retired, in fairness to O'Quinney.
Yeah, I think they're very much ready.
Oh boy, are they ready.
Yeah.
And then it's a question of what Doug King wants to do. He was asked about the massive change in personnel that Sunderland effected over the summer. Would he do it like that way? Would he keep the players as they are? Well, he's playing his cards very close to his chest with the quotes that he made. Might strike a balance somewhere between the two of not doing a great deal and doing a lot. We'll see. But for my money, there's 4 or 5 out there, and there's certainly in the starting lineup that could definitely hold their own in the Premier League. There's certainly one who's not playing today for Coventry who would easily make the step up, and that's Jack Redoni, and they've not missed him today.
Yeah, it just shows you the quality and depth. But I think you're a bit right. I think that's probably the model now, isn't it? The Sunderland way. There's 4 or 5. And it's ruthless football, because they've been outstanding as a whole, but as an owner, you can't really be throwing those kind of things out when there's still a lot of football and points to be played for.
It's very true. Don't count your chickens, etc., etc. Grimes, who's had a good game on his first return to his old club, and he scored and didn't celebrate wildly either. We're into 4 minutes of added time, and Coventry are almost there for a further 3-point haul. Throw into Swansea on their left back position. Samuel Smith being pressurised by Onyeka. Tuck back to Burgess and then back to Vigouroux, the keeper. So Swansea destined for another year in the Championship. I think this would put paid, this result, to any lingering hopes that they might have been able to overcome all that traffic between them and the top 6, Chris. This ball's headed back by Latibeaudiere to Rushworth.
Yeah, I think it's now it's a very difficult period. Vito Matos has to keep them motivated. He can try some little things. I think look at some of the academy product as well. It is very difficult now to keep the players motivated when they are in that kind of no man's land.
Penny for Snoop Dogg's thoughts right now. Yalkuye picks the ball up inside left channel, tries to bend the ball out to Ronaldo on the right, but it's intercepted by Bidwell. Driving forward, and he's looking to slide it out to Markello. Poor pass from Bidwell, comfortably intercepted by Ward.
I think with the 2 extra playoff places next season, though, I don't think it happens. I think even then it's going down to like 16 teams, isn't it?
There's the full-time whistle, and the Coventry fans burst into rapturous applause away to our left as they go 9 points clear of Middlesbrough in second and 11 points clear of Ipswich and Millwall in third and fourth. A very, very comfortable 3-0 victory over Swansea City here. All 3 goals coming between the half-hour mark and half-time, including a goal from former Swans hero Matt Grimes. No back-to-back defeats for Coventry this time. This is a proper reaction from Frank Lampard's men to the home defeat they suffered against Southampton a week ago, and it's yet another message to the rest of the Championship: catch us if you can. Swansea City 0, Coventry City 3. Chris Iwelumo.
I've got to say, I think the first half was exciting end to end, but you've seen the team that were just ruthless, clinical. Opened up some fantastic finishes as well. Just anticipate keeping the pressure on, and then you've seen that other side to Coventry second half. Just managed the game, controlled the game even with the ball. Looked like the team, if they wanted a 4th goal, I think they would have went and got it. But no, let's just make sure it's a clean sheet. Defended well, but majority of that game was in the Swansea half, and that's where Vito Matos I think there'll be a few harsh words being said in that, because they were nowhere near the levels they were in the first half, Swansea, and that's down to how good Coventry were with the ball.
Yes, plenty of empty seats even before the full-time whistle went around 3 sides of the Swansea.com stadium, but no one's budging an inch. Away to our left-hand side of the North Stand end, the Coventry players now heading towards their exultant supporters to thank them for their support this afternoon. Tell you what, let's get Chris Iwelumo to pick his man of the match right now on Talksport 2 with our friends at McDonald's.
Man of the match on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Got big McDonald's hunger? The Big Arch is here to stay. Available from 11 a.m, subject to availability. Price and participation may vary.
All right then, big man, who's the big award going to?
Well, I brought his name up many times. I thought he was outstanding. Frank Onyeka, here, there, everywhere, on the ball, fantastic, going and winning those second balls, challenging well, but in that transition, using it well. But what I loved today was he just got a little bit more advanced, allowed Matt Grimes to have that time and space, but he was picking up second balls, excellent quality coming in from both sides as well. Now he was outstanding today.
Frank Onyeka gets the nod for our man of the match, all thanks to McDonald's.